Hello, welcome back everybody for episode 43 of Animus, Absentis. It's gonna be fun. Annie just got her memories back. We've got this Radic Hall person that we're supposed to be worried about. Stole a bunch of guns from the cartel. It's gonna be great. Excuse me. Before we jump into everything, though, I'm going to mention very quickly our sponsors, and then let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll jump right in. So our sponsors, I'm throwing the information into chat, is Fundamental RPG, the game that the system that this game runs on. Looks like this. You can pick up a copy on Amazon if you want the physical book, or if you want the digital version, you can pick up the PDF at coffee.com/raven/shop. Just like it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just add /shop to the end. And it's currently on sale until the end of the month for $14.99. It's normally $18.99, so be sure to pick that up. And also at that same website, you can find Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. There's, excuse me, accessories, drinkware, apparel, stuff like that. All with a tabletop or adventure theme to it. So it's really cool. Check that out. And then, pardon me one moment. That's something stuck in my throat. Also, Die Hard dice. They're really, really amazing dice. I use them almost exclusively in my dice bag. And this month they sent me this really nice prismatic rainbow set, which looks really cool on the camera. It looks even better in person. You can pick up a set of that or any other of the other amazing sets that they have there at dieharddice.com. And if you use the code BlackFeatherMay, that's capital B, capital M, all one word, you can get 10% off your order. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. With all that out of the way, we'll start at the top left, which is Jay. Tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay, Aurelian Jays. You can find me on Twitter and itch.io under those names. I'm a role player and a game dev, and I'm apparently going through a third puberty. Tonight I'm playing Sparky, who is currently dealing with some really intense feelings about Annie, who is their crewmate, and Annalise, who was their old crewmate before they all got their memories wiped. And they're not sure how that whole meshing is going to go with Annie getting her memories back. So they're in a bit of a tight spot, but otherwise they're kind of the fill-in for the crew. They don't have a really specific job on the crew, but they kind of do things, make mistakes, and then feel really bad about them for weeks on end. That's about Sparky.
All right. V, tell us a little bit about Annie and Annalise and yourself.
It always feels like I'm walking into playing two characters now. I would also like to just take this opportunity to tell you that while Raven and I were discussing details of Annie's past, excuse me, I decided, because I'm absolutely hilarious, that Annie's birthday was in May, thus making her a Gemini. Anyway, so, the whole twin aesthetic, I had to do it. I thought it was funny. But hi, I'm Vanessa. I am 1/3 of the Canadian crew of Animus. I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as some digital art. And if you would like to take a look at any of my stuff, you can certainly do so. I have an art Twitter, which is @Peppero_Draws, and that's Peppero like the candy. I typically post some original characters there. If you like anime, there's some My Hero Academia, working on some Demon Slayer stuff, all that good stuff. So you can check it out there. But I play Annie and Annalise, who have now merged into one person. Pre-memory wipe, Annie was Annalise. We always like to joke that she was sort of like a space anonymous, or an altered Robin Hood, I guess, where she would steal information from rich companies, and instead of giving them to the poor, she would sell them to smaller companies to make a buck for herself as well. She, post-wipe, became Little Mouse first, and then Annie, who is the tall, I would say she started out as the tall cinnamon roll of the group, but quickly became the tall, sassy sister to everybody. with her bright pink space buns and being the tallest of the crew, which is one of my favorite details. Us having given her the name Little Mouse, only to find out that she was, in fact, not little. But yeah, she has gotten her memories back now, and she remembers who everybody else was pre-memory wipe. And now she's trying to deal with that, and hopefully we'll get this stuff figured out with Sparky, and I'm sure everything will be okay. But that's Annie.
Fantastic. And then Alex, tell us a little bit about Seattle and yourself.
Hello. I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can kind of find me around. There's a new project I'm now involved with that should be coming out soon. If you enjoy Neon Devils at all, there is a comic that it will be set in the same sort of world as it, and I've been brought on as a colorist. So that'll be fun to see when it comes out for Dos Angeles. Even though I keep on calling it Douche Angeles, but that's my own fault. So yeah, hi. I play Seattle. He is Dad. He is your dad joking gay dad who co-parents with an aromantic android captain. And the crew is all his children, except for Captain, who is his captain.
Awesome. And then Goody, tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
Hi, I'm Goody. I play Captain. Captain is a Black Ops murder android. She doesn't want to be human, but she definitely is trying her best to understand humans. In her own context of understanding. And yes, she does basically co-parent on the ship. But she loves plants because plants don't have feelings the same way humans do. And they just stay alive when you take care of them the right way. They don't, have feelings about it. But I myself am not really anywhere else. I'm just here. So yeah.
All right.
That's about it.
All right. That just leaves me. So I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for The Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related. There's my link tree in chat, which is just linktr.ee/The Raven, like it says below my face, where you can check out my website, social media stuff, and all that jazz. And then, yeah, I play everybody else in the galaxy, or universe, including 3 people on the ship. Daisy Thornwood, which is Seattle's daughter, also was like the bad guy from season 1. Things have changed since then. And now she's part of the crew. And then also Liam, which is Annie's little brother, whom the crew rescued from the cartel. And then Seth, who also was a bad guy, sent to kidnap the doctor, whom the crew has adopted, and he's actually a really good bean. He just got kidnapped and forced to do bad stuff for the cartel. So yeah, those are the 3 main characters that I essentially play on the ship, and then all the NPCs and everything in this galaxy, which is very much a capitalism gone rampant, horrible kind of setup. There's lots of corporations that essentially rule everything, and there's a galactic police force which is supposed to do like normal prevent crime things, but there's so much corruption and everything else that they don't really do much good. They're more like the private army for the various corporations, really, when it comes down to it. Aside from that, there's some other actual nation states that exist in the galaxy, but the corporations really rule most everything. In addition to that, there's some organized crime of various kinds, such as the cartel, which our party has been dealing with quite a bit. There's also what we've coined the polite mafia on Earth, that also have some ties to this group, as well as plenty of other organizations that we haven't met yet. So it's going to be fun. When we left off last week, or last session rather, excuse me, Annie got her memories back. We robbed an almost abandoned cartel warehouse to get the last ingredient for that. We blinded all of the cameras with spray cheese paintball guns that Daisy made, and they stole a bunch of things. There's some crates of weapons, I think, some medical supplies, and then when we sort of ended the episode with them opening unmarked crates, which ended up being a bunch of android parts, arms and legs and heads and things like that. So that's pretty much where we're at now. Just coming right back in at that moment.
Do the bodies, all these like body parts, do they all share the same kind of like skin color, design?
It's like the same basic like skeletal model. Like the what are words? Build, like the body build frame is essentially the same, but they're different skin tones, very various skin tones, very different ones, and the faces all look different. There's no two sets of parts that look exactly the same. Is Captain down there as well? I can't remember who all was down there when we opened these things. I think it was you in Seattle. I think Captain was on the bridge. Right. I can't remember where Annie was.
Probably.
Yeah, so if Captain's not down there with us, then I think Sparky's first reaction would be to not even text, but straight up call Captain and ask her to come down to the cargo bay because we have a situation.
Is there immediate danger?
Not immediate, but it could be if one of these things turns on.
I'll be down there, and I'll go down.
Just realized I made it sound like a bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think like while they're waiting for Captain, I think Sparky at least would start taking the parts out and just separating them from each other so that the pieces aren't close enough that they, I don't know, like in Sparky's head, I imagine it's very much like these things could just assemble themselves like Voltron and just, wreak havoc without anyone activating them. So I think they're definitely pairing things, like things with like things, and keeping the heads in the boxes because they don't want to. Yeah. Okay. As you do this, there's about, let's say about 6 different androids. There's the parts for, as well as some additional, like, they're like basic arms and legs. They're not like a normal human skin tone. It's like Data from Star Trek, like that sort of. It looks milky
realistic
white
enough.
Almost.
Yeah, but you can tell like, oh, that's not real skin.
So almost like they before they were applied with a skin tone or something, like just off the assembly line, so to say. Yeah, so they have like almost an alien kind of appearance to them, just because they haven't really been dyed yet. Right. But you can tell they're spare parts essentially. And yeah, that's what you got there, and 6 very different faces on 6 different heads. And none of them match Captain's? No. Okay. It's like, I think that's the first thing they would have checked, like, I mean, judging by the parts, they probably would be interchangeable with right, but like facially, Captain, but none of them match Captain. Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah, so Sparky would wait till Captain shows up, and I think they would probably let the rest of the crew know. Like they can come down if they want to see it, but it's not required. But Captain is definitely his priority on that.
Yeah, I think Daisy comes out of one of the vents and starts poking around.
Fucking this kid, I swear.
So Captain shows up and looks around. Cat, honey, I love you. I can't let you do that right now. Captain comes down and looks around and sees them all separated and just says, "Where did these come from?"
When we took all those crates, these were in 6 of them.
Why are they separated so far apart from one another?
Because I was afraid they could activate themselves if they got too close.
Androids can't activate themselves, Sparky.
Unless there was a code in the box when it was opened. I don't know. I just wanted to be... I would rather look silly now than look silly later when someone would go, androids can assemble themselves, Sparky. It seemed reasonable at the time.
Would Captain, just looking at them, know if they are armed like she is? Armed. Like, would she be able to tell if like the arms are bladed like hers?
Hey, welcome in, Stella Luna. Thanks so much for the raid. Coming in with 36 people. Hope you had a great stream. Welcome in. And just get that into chat and this as well. So sorry, you were asking if any of the arms were bladed like the captain's are?
Like, would Captain be able to, just by looking at them or like by picking them up, be able to tell, are they bladed like she is?
They are not. These look like very standard android parts.
Okay. She'll just say, these are very basic androids. They're just standard ones. They operate at a lower rate than I do. But it is strange that they simply had them crated up, perhaps because these have not been used. These are factory default.
Maybe they were waiting for a buyer?
Perhaps, but does the cartel typically sell androids
I mean,
of a basic kind?
maybe they know someone who modifies them?
Perhaps.
That's the only thing I can think of. It seems weird they would have them in the middle of nowhere with all these guns and supplies.
I know I was sought after by the cartel, and eventually, of course, they did have me, but from my understanding, I am not a modified android. I am built specifically as what I am.
Do you think they might have been trying to mass produce something like you?
I suppose it's a possibility, but this would not be the way to go about it.
Seattle lifts a hand. Spare parts.
That is also a possibility.
But for who?
And
Many-
the android that they're using.
Many cartel ships use androids as pilots. We don't make navigation errors. Humans do.
Daisy kind of chimes in too and offers some information saying, there's lots of different uses for androids in the galaxy at large that people would purchase them for. Most of them are not at the same level of like self-awareness as the captain is. So a lot of the models are pretty much just like what we would consider a robot today that just looks more human.
They're Roombas.
Kinda. So
I
you might
think
have
that's
like
robo-racist.
like a cooking model or things like that.
I don't think you can call them Roombas.
You can't say that, Daisy.
No.
Like to put it this way, these particular ones probably are not sentient.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the awkward question: what should we do with them?
Well, like I said,
Spare parts.
these ones, I do not know if they would even be useful for me. But
I could rig up something to cover your arm blades using some of these.
I suppose, but once my blades come back out,
No. I'm thinking something that can reseal.
Oh damn! Econorlax in chat just said build a competent ship crew for a change.
shots
Oof.
fired. My gosh.
I'm gonna need someone to call a coroner because we just got murdered.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that was good, Econorlax.
Well done. Feeling like a curry because it's real spicy in here. So because I think Sparky would say like flat out like I don't feel okay like selling them. It doesn't feel right.
They are probably not sentient. They are, at most, navigation androids.
Would you want to sell your plants?
My plants? If I needed to, I would.
I can just find uses for this stuff.
If we have use for it, we can keep it. If you are worried that I am feeling strange about having what the equivalent of body parts lying around me, it does not bother me.
To be honest, Cap, I wasn't really worried about you. I'm just kind of weirded out by it.
In fact, it is quite humorous to take 2 sets of legs and stack them on top of each other.
Seattle demonstrates this by picking up 6 hands and doing a fan dance with them. Or 6 arms and doing a fan dance with the arms.
Oh my god.
We should probably check them over just to see if there's any weird programming from the cartel. Like maybe they made them look this way so that they could easily sneak in someplace and do something. Maybe they're full of bombs. We don't know.
You may put one together and activate it, see if it has anything beyond a factory setting.
And Sparky will kind of like gesture towards the bomb room with their head, like towards Seattle.
Oh yeah, Seattle's like picking up the pieces for one of them and heading towards the bomb room.
Okay, yeah, Sparky's following suit.
These androids are full of beans.
While you're having that conversation, Daisy has already like taken one of the heads and hooked it up to her tablet. And just because I think it's funny,
this fucking kid is gonna get us killed. I swear.
Just because I think it's funny, the android just stares right at Sparky, like the eyes just keep following them wherever they go while she's looking at it. And yeah, Daisy pulls it up. She's like, "Yeah, these are basic model stuff. They're no more sentient than our cheese cooler."
Seattle
just stares.
There's that glint that Daisy recognizes in Seattle's eyes.
Excuse you?
So about that.
Only Daisy gets to see that glint, though.
Mm-hmm.
Captain narrows her eyes at the mention of the cooler and then just walks out of the room.
Just side eyes it like.
new to the show, it's been a running gag since I think season 1 that our cheese
Yep.
cooler was going to become sentient and become like the ultimate villain of the whole series.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter
Yeah.
account for it.
Seattle's
does have
just
a charm.
having fun with his son. Cheesy, cheesy
Your son, your cheesy son needs some Prozac.
No, he just needs.
Have
some
you
Buddha.
checked his Twitter account? Like,
Has
you
it
need
been
some
posted
provolone
recently? The last time I saw it was like a month that it posted.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're not posting, you're doing other things.
That's fair.
Like making
Anyways.
memes, which is true.
Anyways, useful information that Daisy gives you is that these, assuming they're all the same model, these don't appear to be sentient androids. They are just very fancy Alexas or Google Homes, essentially, that can do basic tasks around the ship if you want them to.
is it like that Sophia robot? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you mean.
The one that
Yeah.
does the facial expressions?
Is that what we're calling them? Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Wow.
Kind of like that, except, they look human, with some noticeable differences. You couldn't just send them out and pretend that they are a specific human and have them get through
Mhm.
security or something like that.
Unless
for
we
all
remote pilot it.
I mean, we could
With
give
the
it
VR rig?
Well, especially given the piloting rig with the virtual setup.
Hmm?
Oh, we could.
Just putting it out there.
Oh, if Sparky mentions this,
Oh, yeah.
Seattle's getting this look of like,
This is behind the vault room doors.
oh yeah, Seattle's
Just-
getting that look of like, I know exactly what we need to take from Liam's room.
Good, Raven.
Liam's gonna murder Seattle these days.
We could literally just buy a VR at this point.
Yeah.
Why
so
buy when it's already here?
Because Daisy will mention this, you will all know that these potentially could be upgraded to become sentient, but they are not currently.
Yeah, see, Captain's gonna have to sign off on that one.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, please step away from sentience.
Yeah, I'm good without.
None of you are responsible enough to be giving life to anything.
Not even remotely.
Nope.
And yet Seattle already did.
Yeah, that was enough. License
You already had
revoked.
one whoopsie.
Yeah,
Like I
license
said,
revoked.
only reason I'm mentioning it is because I know Daisy would. I am not at all saying that that is a good idea.
No,
Just
of
that
course.
it's an idea.
Daisy and Seattle should work on something with the cheese cooler.
Yeah, that's not it. I know where you're going
just
with
a
it.
personal family project.
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
So yeah, that's I think where Seattle and Sparky are for the next little while, unless Seattle had any other plans.
Nope.
Yeah. So we were probably taking this thing apart and just making sure there's A, no bombs in it, B, getting a sense of the guts and what we can do with it.
Okay. Could I get a mechanical engineering roll from both of you?
Absolutely.
What happens if I roll a 1?
Well, we're about to find
We're
out.
about to find out. Jeez, 32.
To
on
get
a
my
roll.
hand stuck in the
That's great.
gears or something like.
Think a second.
'Cause my first thought was like digging around in the guts and it just turns on and it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's suit, just like
Oh,
all
God, that's-
gears and springs.
That's horrifying.
Isn't it a bit?
It's freaking
Let's-
Springtrap.
Start with Seattle. You're able to take one apart, no problem. It's already in pieces, but you're able to take it apart even further and confirm there's no explosives or anything like that. These look like very stock, off the line, basic helper androids. Again, they're like really fancy Alexas with body parts.
Cool. Seattle's just like documenting and putting all the parts in sorted order so he has parts for if Android needs repairs in the future.
Okay.
He's quite literally
Um,
pulling out boxes to like organize android parts in.
Are they advanced enough to replace my parts though? Because I mean,
You can never have too much wire.
fair. Because I mean, Captain is meant to murder things. I don't think that these are meant to like jump off
Yes,
buildings and.
but they have O-rings.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are useful parts like the legs could probably be swapped out with captains and be
Or just even
functional.
like parts from the legs in order to like brace areas or like replace areas.
Most of the parts would work for captain in the same way that like a donut spare would work on a car if you got a flat tire.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
It would let you use that limb or part or whatever enough until you could actually fix or replace the part that you needed.
Gotcha.
Seattle's requesting a 3D printer at some
That would
point.
be a great idea for y'all, actually. And I imagine at this point in the future would be readily available. Okay,
We gotta sell all this stuff
There's
first,
just
though, and
there's
get our
just
money.
there's just a
gonna say we are
service
broke as
request that
hell.
goes out to like adding to the to buy list of 3D printer reasons.
Okay.
Captain.
Okay. And then Sparky with the nat 1. You go to take one apart, and you know how capacitors hold a charge for a really long time? You accidentally grab one of those, and I get a physical fortitude roll from you.
Well, much like all of my characters, I think I know where this is going to end up. Because I just don't have anything in that.
Oh no. It kind of launches you across the room a little bit, and you pass out for a few minutes. When you wake up, you kind of look like an Albert Einstein.
Seattle's
cosplay.
like over top of on top of Sparky, like doing the gentle cheek paps. Did you forget to put in your grounding wire?
I think they give you a look of like, what the hell's a grounding wire?
Okay. Seattle's
Baby's
going to
first teardown.
Seattle's going to take Sparky to the doctor at this point because
Just make sure I don't have a concussion or anything, yeah.
yeah. Leaves a
And
note
then-
on the door. Do not enter Android disassembly in progress.
Okay. But yeah, you're able to mechanically take them all apart if you want to, and determine there's no bombs or anything of that nature that's going to go off. If you want to check the programming as well, you can do that with tech engineering. Since Daisy only did like a cursory, yep, this is what this is. Depends on
33.
how much you want to dig into things. With a 33, are you doing this kind of the same thing, just plugging in a tablet to the head to kind of check its operating system and whatnot?
Yes.
Okay.
As well as just like taking it all apart to see how like the programming actually fits together.
Gotcha. Yeah, from what you can tell, this looks like very base programming. I imagine these kind of have like the equivalent of a mileage counter like a car would have. So you can tell that they have been assembled and activated before.
For how long?
Probably not for very long, like 5 minutes. Probably part of a like inspection, make sure that they work.
Yeah.
So you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You can see a list of program options that you can run on them. Basically, best way to describe them would be like directories that house subroutines and things like that. There's like entertainment, chef, mechanic, basic roles that you would want to fill on a ship for basic tasks and things like that, especially if you're going to be in space for a long time.
Nothing useful for my cheese cooler.
The chef one might be. If you go poking around in that directory, they do
Yep.
have an extensive database of cooking knowledge, recipes, and things like that.
Do these androids come with information on their point of origin?
They do. They've got a serial number, which if you trace it, one of the central planets, I don't have a name for it off the top of my head, but like one of the central well-known planets, well-known manufacturer.
Okay.
Like these are definitely. Now there's no way of knowing where they've gone and everything since they came off the line, but they definitely came from an assembly line.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, so that's what you're able to find out. And if you check all of them, they all have those same file directories and things. So essentially you can just assign them to whatever mode you'd like to have them in.
Do we have? I was gonna say, do we have a preference for what they are?
Seattle's actually would prefer we not use them because honestly, that kind of creeps them out.
It's kind of where Sparky's at too.
Seattle would be all
This
for
is what's
putting the
weirding
cheese
you all
cooler
out.
into one of them. But that's different because the cheese cooler is his project and his child.
Okay. Also not sentient at this point, by the way. I mean,
We're working on it.
our own headcanons aside, in game it's not sentient yet.
Oh, I would be terrified if it ever did become sentient.
Oh, it probably will, I'm sure. With the path that you're on and what you're doing, I'm sure it eventually will be. But anyways, that's what you find out about the androids. What's Annie doing during all this?
Good question. I think Annie is spending some time alone in her room. She would not have stayed in the infirmary when she kind of got those memories back and everybody went on their way. Any residual soreness or discomfort from the absolute show that was getting those memories back, it would have been uncomfortable for her to stay in the infirmary. She wouldn't want to necessarily interact with the doctor much should they come back. So she decided that she was going to go back to her room.
The doctor's been largely absent. You haven't really seen them since they administered the injection.
Yep, that's perfectly fine for her. She doesn't want to run the risk of changing that outcome, so she left.
Okay. Anything in particular you want to do in your room by yourself?
She's just trying to kind of sift through, it's kind of like, when you wake up from a dream and the dream itself felt really, really real. So you kind of have to sit there for a minute and kind of reorganize your thoughts and figure out what was just a part of the dream and then what was actually, real life. I feel like that's
such a trippy feeling. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of where her headspace is at the moment, where instead of like, oh, I'm trying to figure out what's not real, it's like, oh, I'm provided with all of this information that is exactly real, and she's trying to fit it together with what she knows now. So yeah, a little bit more trippy, I would say, because it doesn't seem real, but it is, rather than it seems real and it isn't.
Okay. All right. So not going through any notebooks or contacting any people or anything like that right now.
She's not contacting anyone. No. She's probably aware that she has information in her contact book that she wasn't able to really access before. I don't think she'd really delve headfirst into that at the moment, because like I said, she's just trying to base orient herself first. So it's in her mind, but she hasn't picked it up yet.
Okay, cool. All right, then we'll hop back over to everybody else. Now that you've confirmed the androids seem to be a base model, nothing weird about them, no explosives inside the chassis or anything like that, and Sparky has recovered from the shock. What do you do now?
We couldn't get a hold of Tolan, right? Last time?
Correct.
They are suspiciously absent.
Yeah. They let us go to voicemail.
Captain's gonna try to contact them again.
It immediately goes to voicemail.
Yep.
Not like I saw that and hit ignore, but like it's not answering at all. Kind of goes directly to voicemail.
Right.
Do we know anyone else who could even do it to get us a job?
Well, Captain wanted to know if maybe they could set up somebody who would want to buy some of the stuff we have.
Oh yeah, right.
But if we can't get a hold of them,
we did want to drop some of it off, I
Hey,
think, with the miners
Raven.
and/or.
Raven, on those droids, their protocols,
Yeah.
were any of them under medical?
Yeah, there is like a medical assistant directory.
Seattle knows exactly where most of these are going. In with the medicine to the miners.
Oh yeah.
I thought you
Or
meant.
drop
I thought you
them a
meant
bunch of
going as in-
nurses.
Yeah, I thought you meant going as in like from the cartel. I'm like, why would the cartel send these to the miners?
No, we would send these to the miners.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they're
Seattle's
like,
actually gonna propose that instead of selling them.
Yeah.
Okay. They're
can
like
just-
non-sentient versions of the EMH from Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably good because they can't sass you.
Yeah.
Or
They're-
go on
they're not
holodeck
sassy at all.
adventures.
But they they're not like doctors or surgeons or anything, but they could assist a doctor or a surgeon or
They're more like a nurse or a medic.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, medic would be a great
Which is
term
better
for it.
than nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And the fact they don't need to eat.
Just batteries.
I mean, nobody eats batteries, right?
It's bad for your teeth.
um,
Your stomach.
but so we should sell some of the guns for sure, because we got. Let me double check. 20 whole crates of them. So we don't need to give all of those to the miners.
we should sell a lot of those.
Like 15, because we already technically gave I think a half crate to the miners already. So
Half a
Yeah,
crate.
we
Yeah.
did.
And
they don't
they're-
need a lot.
They're all pretty basic small arms, like handguns,
Mhm.
basic submachine guns, things like that. Nothing fancy or high tech or anything like that, but they're still guns.
Yeah, my first thought, until you said nothing's fancy, I was going to say we might be able to offload a few of them to Zevi, but I have a suspicion she doesn't go for the rank and file in guns.
She does have high turnover,
Hmm.
and I'm sure the new hires will need new guns.
That's true.
Didn't we give
So-
her some?
I don't think
thought we
so.
gave her some when we dropped her off.
Well, no, she left us a gun because she took a bunch
Yeah.
of guns
Oh,
from that.
that's
So this
right.
is from a different.
right.
I forgot we had a bazooka.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
a
that's
fucking
right. Yeah,
bazooka.
she gave you
Yeah.
a going away present, like thanks for the ride,
Mhm.
kind of a thing. Yeah, that was great. That was a good moment.
So yeah, we could probably hit Zevi up and see if we can sell her a couple of crates. It's a start.
Wouldn't that just be getting our money back?
Yeah.
We
Or
could
we-
save them to shave off the price, right? Next time we need to hire her.
Yeah, if we save like 5 crates of them, we can use that for next time and sell 10 of them right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I should also note that none of these are like illegal to possess either. Like,
I kind of figured, yeah. Now, that said, do they have serial numbers or, like, the equivalent, or have they all been...
they do.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So this
right.
is like above the table.
Just regular old arms dealing.
Like, what if we
Pretty
went
much.
to our favorite little gas station and sold some stuff there?
They probably have some money to throw around.
They
We might be able
probably
to.
do.
We can probably find a buyer through them too, because they would have connections for people who may only be in through there once in a while.
Young Matthew it is.
Mm-hmm. Could I get someone to roll an education roll in regards to the guns? 31? Yeah, that's good enough. Your best guess is that these were probably ordered by some corporation and then stolen or quote unquote misplaced. And
They
that's
fell off the
why,
back of a space truck.
Kinda, yeah. That sort of
Okay.
thing. So, which is why they're perfectly legal and recorded weapons.
Gotcha.
So, like, nobody's gonna stop you over them.
Okay. I'm in for that. We could probably sell some of the medical supplies too, because God knows we don't need that, like 5 crates of it.
Well,
Yeah.
again, minors.
Or sorry, 6 crates. My bad. But yeah, I think we definitely should give some to the miners, but we also are like stint broke, so we should sell a fair majority of them. Let me just check how broke we are. 76,000 credits, which for us is quite broke.
Mm-hmm.
We like extravagant things.
Well, and considering what every time you need to refuel, it's about, I think, 10,000 credits.
Yeah, exactly. Plus food and another
She's a bit of a
accoutrement.
gas guzzler, our Lagrange.
Yeah, it is the SUV of spaceships.
Yeah.
We need
But
a minivan.
sport.
We need a minivan.
We already don't have enough space in the sport utility. You're not going to have more space in a minivan.
You would be surprised.
I wouldn't. It's a spaceship.
Maybe if you got like a full-size van.
I guess.
Yes, but
it's
that
not
would make us
much
the
difference.
weirdos running around adopting children from a van.
I don't think
I
it's
mean,
much worse than where you're
yeah.
at now.
Like, instead of us adopting weirdos in an SUV, it's mom's soccer van, and we just keep collecting all the misbegotten toys.
Anyways,
Anyway.
would you like to sell some of this stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to sell it to Matt's group, radar technician Matt? That group? Would you like to sell it more like on a black market kind of a deal, or
While we're having this
or to
discussion,
someone else?
I think Sparky would message Annalise, and ask if she knew of anyone, maybe one of her contacts, who would be interested in buying some of these things.
Good question. I think probably the first person that she would ask about it is Alice, to pass along to his crew and see if any of them need guns.
Okay. One sec. I'm just catching up on something here about a thing.
Thing with the stuff, you know.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Don't worry about it. Anyways.
Now there's 2 people barbecuing in front of my house. What is going on?
Kinda. Don't worry about it. You'll get your barbecue soon. Promise. What was the question?
Guns. We were talking about guns.
Oh, if
Alice.
Alice wanted them or knew somebody that wanted them.
Yes.
Let's find out. Unlikely.
Unlikely.
I'm sorry to
the
interrupt, but it sounded like you just rolled a magic 8-ball.
Answer unclear. Check back later. But no, if you do contact them, basically the response you get is like the trash pandas don't really use small arms. They're not like that kind of organization. And he doesn't really know anybody that would need that many.
All right, I guess we're checking the book then. Let's see some of our other contacts here.
Okay. Could I get a tech engineering roll from you?
Sweet to like. Tech engineering. Let's see. Please roll 20. Be nice to me today. Okay,
44.
that's not bad. 44.
That's pretty nice. Yeah. Since you have your memories back, you're now able to fully utilize this book, and you know how to unlock all the content in it. And yeah, you've basically got the family contacts. So the family business contacts that you could contact, call up on the phone and say, hey, do you want to buy this thing? You can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what she's gonna do.
Looks like we lost Goody.
Ooh.
Hopefully they'll be right back. Probably a dropped connection or something.
Yeah, dropped out of roll 22.
Internet probably went down. But yeah, that's what you find, and there is, in fact, a place that would be interested in weapons.
She would relay that information back to Sparky.
I'm sorry, I zoned out. What is the information?
We now have somebody who can potentially buy the guns, should we decide to go that route.
That's what I assumed it was. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like, well, yes, of course I know what you're talking about. The androids. Okay. Did we get a price at all or just a contact?
Just a contact. So yeah, she would have just put out feelers first to see if somebody would be willing to buy them. Right. So she has not given a price yet.
Okay. I think we can probably do most of it through that, if they're depending how much they want.
Yeah, the message that they send back if you're sending out a feeler is essentially that they're interested. They could use that inventory, and they'll basically it's roughly like pawning them, so you'll get probably like half of what they're actually worth, if that. But they're willing to buy them, right away. They'll basically tell you to, ship them through a certain company, and you can just drop them off and get your money, and it's all done real quick.
Yeah. So Annie would ask you, Sparky, like how much we're looking to sell, like how many guns, and relays that we'll get approximately this much. So it's not full price, but it's something.
I think Sparky would say, let's contact Matt first, see what he's willing to offer, and then maybe we can sell more to him if he's willing to pay more. I mean, we need money, but
yeah, she sends you back a message. All it says is sure with a period at the end, and that's all you get.
Okay. That's all Sparky sends back. is just okay, period. And they kind of awkwardly put the the text down, just like put that on the desk. I'll deal with that later. But yeah, they'll I guess send a wave over to Matt. See how he's doing, see what he's willing to buy if he's interested at all.
Okay. Yeah, you get a response back from Matt that things are going well. He just got back from vacation. Went skiing with this nice new lady that's in his life. And they had a really nice time. It goes on and on in the message about the vacation. Probably longer than he should. But essentially says that they could maybe take like one, but they're not really looking for weapons. We could equip our security with that, but that would take like one crate, not 6.
How much is he willing to buy them for? Not necessarily a specific amount, but just like would we make more selling to him for 1 crate?
Yeah, probably about 75% of what they're worth instead of 50.
Okay. I could certainly go in for 1 crate to Matthew. Mr. Broderick. I don't. But listen, I don't know tonight. I really don't. Yeah, if everyone else is okay with that.
Okay, Goody's computer died.
Oh, okay.
They're logging back in.
Cool. So I'll wait to see what Lisa's thought is on that. But otherwise, I think we'll probably sell the majority to whoever this pawn shark is.
Okay. Assuming you do the 5-1 split, you'll make about 65,000.
It's no bank job, but it'll do for now, I suppose. Technically, we got them for free, so.
Yeah.
Is there any way that Annie can haggle?
You can try, but that means communicating more with them, which opens up certain risks.
She would leave that to the opinion of the crew, I think. Give them the option, like, I can try to do this, but there are risks. So either we can take the money that they're offering, or I can try to up the price. Just know that could, have other things attached to it.
Actually, let me get a gut feeling roll from Annie.
Alrighty, let's see. Of course. Roll 20 is out for us today. The nat one.
The risks are minor. Like they might ask for a business license number, and you don't currently have one. But it's no big deal.
But we should get one because we are technically a business.
Oh, that's right. Annie, you suddenly remember, right, Conch Core, that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, there should be no problems at all if you want to haggle and talk to them.
Hey, Sparky, now would be the time to be paranoid.
Who needs paranoia? We're gonna get rich.
But yeah, she would send that information along to you. It's a possibility. It's up to you. The crew can decide as a whole.
To get you up, Lisa, we have a contact through Annalise who's willing to buy as many guns as we want to sell for like half what they're worth. So like 65 grand, I think you said, right?
Seattle looks confused when you say Annalise.
Okay. So if you wanted to sell 5 crates to the one place and 1 crate to Matt, then it's 65,000 totals.
Total. Okay. So yeah, Matt is willing to buy like 1 for 75% as opposed to the 50% this other person. So we're just getting a consensus through everyone. And Sparky quickly corrects themselves and says Annie, once Seattle gives them a weird look.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, they'll see. And is Sparky informing captain of this?
Mm-hmm.
Or okay. Captain sees no issue with taking to this contact so long as we don't get shot at or something.
It's possible. Do we want to sell more than 5?
How many do we have?
20.
And we were gonna just give the rest to the miners.
I was going to suggest we do make Seattle kind of make a suggestion. Why don't we do what we originally planned? 5 crates for the miners, 14 crates to Annie's buyer, 1 crate to Matt.
It's not like we need any of the crates, really.
Yeah. That's
How often do we shoot people?
we
I mean, we
don't.
already have guns too, so.
Yes, that is true. Certainly. Whereabouts can we find this buyer?
I think Annie is doing some negotiating, but I don't think she said who it was. Just one of her contacts.
Well, if she knows how to get into actual contact with them to make the payment and the exchange, that is fine. We will sell them 14 crates.
Okay, so splitting it up to where you've got some going to the miners, some going to them, and 1 going to Matt. So call it like 55,000 is what you'll make off the deal.
Not bad. I'll take it.
Can I just double check something?
Mhm.
How did it become less when there's more guns involved?
Wait, how many crates of guns do you have?
20.
Okay. I thought you
'Cause
had a
you-
lot less than that.
Because you went from 65,000 selling 5 to the pawn and 1 to Matt to 55,000 with 4.
I know what I did.
Okay.
My brain transposed how many crates you had of Android parts with how many crates of guns you had.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, 6. That makes sense. Now you got a lot of guns. Holy crap.
We
I
got a
forgot
lot.
about
We
that.
stole the whole warehouse. So
Let's rewind that a second here. Let me do some mental math. So how many crates are you selling?
14 to the pawn, 1 to Matt, and the other 5 are going to the miners. Is that right? Okay. So we're not selling the ones to the miners. We're just giving them to them wholesale.
Grand total, let's call it 110,000.
If Annie wants to haggle for more, I certainly wouldn't be against it. It's up to her. Balls
Oh
in her
no,
court.
Annie specifically said, "Group decides. You let me know."
Well, Sparky's 4, because 110,000 is not it's not nothing, but it's not a lot compared to their other jobs, and we do need probably some capital to do the next thing we're gonna do.
Especially when you can just, grab a bag with 100,000 in it from any
Right?
random bank.
Yeah, like people just leave that stuff lying around.
Seattle's also realizing we need a better ship. We need
Also, our ship is really hot.
Yeah.
So
Seattle's gonna contact Matthew and ask
Okay.
about if Matthew has any recommendation for shipyards.
does Matt own a used shipyard?
Do they have a new
I would
shipyard
love-
attached yet?
I would love that.
I think they probably do by now.
Great. Seattle is going to broach this over a communication to everyone. It's like, I hate to be the one to suggest this, but we need to sell the Lagrange. She is too hot, and she is too small for all of us.
I have no sentimentality attached to this ship.
I mean, as long as we take all the stuff we want, I don't think it'll be bad. I think there's as many good memories as there are bad in here. So
I was about to say, Daisy filters this, but again, what actually runs through her head this time is, but think of all the oh, wait.
yeah, I think we could just throw that all in the trash.
Yeah. Yeah, so she doesn't actually say anything. She's just like, yeah, it might be, a change of scenery might be nice. Let's get something with roomy air vents.
How about smaller air vents?
That one definitely. Mm-hmm.
No, that's a bad idea.
Bigger room in the walls.
Why not?
Is this like a group message that we're talking about selling?
I think we're all just like.
Yep.
I think Sparky would have messaged it to you, but I think most of us are in person. I would assume.
No, this was
last
like...
we.
Oh,
I thought everybody was still in the cargo bay.
That's what I'd assumed. Yeah.
Yeah, for whoever's in the cargo bay. So Annie's getting most of this via the updates on the text every once in a while.
The group chat.
Captain-
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Captain just says, we will purchase whatever ship meets our best primary needs.
So hydroponic garden.
No, we can build that. We will look for maneuverability, speed, weaponry, armor, and room, as we seem to have grown as a crew. Somehow.
Don't look at me. I'll keep adopting strays.
Daniel's like, I haven't brought anything unapproved onto this ship.
Oh, it's all been approved. I just am wondering why I keep approving it.
Because I asked nicely.
No.
He doesn't cause as much trouble.
Yes, he does.
Okay, no, that's true. Yeah.
You're all terrible.
Yeah.
Seattle might be having the hardest time not just snickering at this.
So, just laughing because it sounds like the first episode of Bob's Burgers. Where it's like, you're my family and I love you, but you're all terrible. I'd fire you all if I could.
Basically.
Oh my god.
You're terrible
so-
people, but you're my terrible people.
Yeah. Sorry, I was doing some math to see how much the ship is worth. It's kind of a weird
Probably
way
gonna
to
have to
figure
be
it
a
out.
trade-in.
Yeah. So brand new with everything on the ship, it probably cost around 20 million credits. You could probably get about, with the situation with the ship, you'll probably end up getting around 2 million.
I mean, that's better than I thought it was gonna be.
And with all the modifications Seattle's made to things, we can probably get the price driven up as soon as an engineer gets a look at those engines. Because Seattle has done some shit to those engines. Lagrange moves a lot faster than she ought to be able to by this point.
That's fair.
We should probably also figure out what we're keeping from the ship and what we're leaving on it. Like guns and the like.
The only thing that Seattle can think to keep like outside of the crew, which he is including the rooster, the plants, and the cheese cooler as part of the crew, is his workstation that he has set up in the engine room and the vault.
Yeah, the vault should come with, definitely. Should we take the guns?
Yes.
The vault is like part of the ship, though, so you'd have to like
Yes, but they're going to be taking the
uninstall
part.
it, which would be.
They're taking the ship apart anyways.
Not necessarily. Someone might just buy it.
True, but if it's as hot as it is, it's better off for parts.
Depends who buys it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I see where you're coming from, Raven. It's kind of like removing
Yeah.
a room from a house.
It's not like removing a safe from a home. It's like
Right.
removing a reinforced walled room from a house.
We could just build a new one. Like that's not going to be too costly. And we can build a bigger, and with more safety nets.
It's a vault inside of a vault.
We probably need one. But yeah, I would encourage everyone to think on that. I think Sparky would kind of send that message out to Annie as well, as like, think on anything you want to bring with you from the ship that, you know, you can't stand to leave behind other than your own personal stuff.
You wouldn't get a response.
Cool. Don't hate her, cute.
The equivalent of being left on red, like she's clearly got it, so you know that she'll do that, but
Totally.
no
Okay.
response.
Okay. Daisy's like, I'm gonna need to go into the vents for a while.
Seattle's like, I need to be in the walls. Bye.
This is the weirdest crew. We're just like, we should probably sell this ship, huh? Okay, cool. I'll go pack my stuff. Like, fucking hell.
With
Don't
Daisy,
even
it's
know
like,
how much the ships are.
no, Daisy's just gotta go get all the stuff that she's like hidden away
her
in the
little
vents
box,
and
yes.
various places all over the ship.
That's why Seattle's going into the walls.
Okay,
To get his
this
various
this makes
things
more
he's
sense.
found in there, including a stupid amount of alcohol. But it's all like half-drank bottles, so he
course.
can't sell it or anything. So he's just been like keeping them because they might make good Molotov cocktails if we get boarded.
God.
Don't throw Molotov cocktails on a spaceship.
Oh my goodness.
My God. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds like a good spot to take a quick break.
Cool.
So we're gonna go on a 15-minute break, let everybody stretch their legs, get food and stuff, and start thinking about what type of ship you would like to get. Because really, at this point, it's gonna be a design your own ship, and we'll see what you can afford. So be thinking about that while we're on break, and if there's anything else you want to sell, like let me know in Zoom chat, and I'll come up with a price. I basically figured out how much the ship's worth by comparing it to like a modern day car, how much that costs versus how much it costs to fill it up with gas, and using that as the conversion rate. So
Oh, how many of the
that's where we're
cryo
at.
fridges do we want to keep? Because we can sell those too.
We don't need to keep any of them, I don't think.
Okay.
We'll keep your weird son.
Oh, you're not allowed to sell my son.
I don't know if anyone would buy your son.
Yeah.
I think you're stuck with that one. But yeah, I think we can buy better, because we retrofitted cryopods, for crying out loud. We can find better like storage equipment than that.
yeah. The Lagrange is definitely built for speed, being able to get into short skirmishes where you deal a lot of damage and run away. It's not built for...
It's not something you overthrow the capitalism with.
Yeah, it's probably was like a converted patrol ship. So, yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back in 15 minutes, and we'll find out how Annie's negotiations go to haggle with the price. That's totally safe now, apparently, according to that Nat 1. And we'll figure out some other stuff. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. And let me just do that. So, yeah, we were supposed to talk about a ship on the break. Guess what we didn't do? Talk about a ship. So
We
let's
yelled
talk about
about Latin italics.
We
Yeah,
all got to listen to Vanessa scream about mommy milkers.
I was making fun of the internet. Come on.
So ships.
Yeah, if you want to know what we were talking about, you can go to twitter.com/@/9_cryo to look at cryopod number 9 and what it has said about our situation.
Forth.
Yeah. Anyways, so you're discussing ships. What type of ship would you like? Also, a couple other questions. Annie, have you haggled on the price of the guns yet? And another question for Captain, did you leave a voicemail with Tolan?
Yes.
Okay. What did it say?
Contact me.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. I will do something with that. And what type of ship do you all want?
Probably something that's like close to the same speed. I don't think Sparky's too particular about what type of ship, just as long as we don't lose too much of our maneuverability, because that is kind of how we get out of most of the scrapes.
We want a Subaru.
Yeah.
Outback or
checks out.
Forester?
Ooh.
Which one's bigger?
I think the Outback, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Outback is bigger, but Foresters are more dependable.
Car words.
Listen, I don't even drive. I'm just assuming.
They
I
have
mean, Subarus
roughly,
are pretty good cars.
They have roughly like the same cargo capacity, if I remember right. But the Forester's just built more like an SUV, whereas the Outback's built more like a sedan, but it's also kind of sort of an SUV.
No, we need an SUV. We're too big of a family. Not shoving you all in a freaking sedan.
All right, let's use the Ford method of measurement. So currently you're like in an Escape.
Okay.
Do you want the Explorer, the Expedition, or the Excursion upgrade?
I don't know.
I'm so
Ford.
lost.
It's somewhere in between the Explorer and the Excursion.
Okay, so the Expedition.
The only vehicle I've ever owned was a Honda Jazz scooter.
I have owned a skateboard. It was quite roomy.
So the Expedition is about the size of like a Chevy Suburban.
Chevy Suburbans.
You
are
are comparing a rock by saying, "Oh, it's a bit smaller than another rock."
Is it a?
Can you
is
describe
it like
it by size?
I know what
whale?
she's saying.
I was gonna say,
I'm the
is
captain.
is it an 8-seater? Is it a 6-seater?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. 10 if you have small children and don't care about seatbelt laws.
Right, which we don't.
Yeah. So that compared to something that's like a 4-seater.
Okay.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 5-seater.
Right.
So not quite doubling in size for crew and potentially cargo and things like that, but you definitely would lose some maneuverability with it.
How much maneuverability? That's the only concern. Like percentage-wise, even.
Well, in space, it wouldn't be that bad. You probably wouldn't want to take it into Atmo much at all.
Ooh, that's a question. Are we selling the shuttle?
No, I think we should keep the
Good
shuttle.
luck prying it from my cold, dead hands.
Well, I'm also just thinking, like, it has also been implicated in a theft.
We can just paint that bitch. I think shuttles are more generic than spaceships.
That's true, I
Mhm.
suppose. Okay,
Besides,
just
I
a thought.
just have
Yeah.
the shuttle set up now that we can remote pilot it.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot we did that.
Seattle's put so much work into this. Is one of his babies.
Okay.
Let me open up the character sheet for the ship. And I can tell
In
you
that
in actual
case-
numbers.
Like, as long as it's no more than like 25, like as long as we're not losing more than a quarter of our maneuverability switching over, should be fine. Because then maybe we could buy upgrades or have Seattle try to compensate a bit. Like, we're going to lose some regardless, but we
Someone is
can
tied to toughness.
do whatever
Okay.
the word I'm trying to think of is. Compensate.
So you'd probably lose like 2 points of toughness and gain like 2 points of stamina, essentially. Put it into mechanic terms. And toughness is the stat that you use for nimbleness, to give you an idea. So you're going to lose some maneuverability. You're not going to be able to like do crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But
And
it's
what
also
does
a bigger ship.
stamina do?
Stamina ties into, well, they both tie into your HP, but
Mm-hmm.
stamina also ties into like being able to take extra actions. It ties into
Moving fast.
Seems like it's more
Fortitude
like
as
an
well.
endurance kind of thing for a ship specifically.
Yeah, basically, instead of being able to dodge shots, you'd be able to take hits better.
Okay.
But
So like the inverse of a dwarf. Not quite dangerous over short distances is the joke I'm making.
gotcha. Yes.
Don't worry about it. It was
Downside
poorly
to
worded.
You're good. I was trying to think of how to word this. So the downside is like you're going to take more hits, but you're able to take them more. But then you also have to repair what got hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you wouldn't be as fast. You wouldn't be as maneuverable. At least not in sublight. For speed, like FTL, you'd probably be fine. Like it'd be the same. You'd probably get an extra shuttle bay, extra crew quarters, and you can decide what you want the ship to look like and color scheme and all that stuff too. Which doesn't have to be right this second.
Seattle has a recommendation.
What's up?
Blue and white. With fleur de lis.
Okay, I was like, I don't want to look like a cop. I don't think Sparky's too much concerned as long as we're still maneuverable enough. I think that's the only thing they're really concerned about. Like, space-wise, things are kind of okay. I mean, if we take on more cargo, we may as well be a cargo ship at that point. So, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not too fussy.
But also think about it, if we had more like passenger space, we could transport people as jobs.
Okay, I was gonna say for money or fun. Like, okay,
For
Yeah.
fun, we're gonna pick people up at random and just take them somewhere.
we're like the worst cab service. We're free,
Yeah.
but you don't know where you're going.
I'd do
Space
it.
Uber.
We turn
But-
a little light on our ship so
Yeah.
people know we're active.
First ride's free because you'll never see us again.
Yep.
God.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, and we could haul more cargo, like do more legitimate work rather than just robbing people. Sounds weird when you put it like that, though.
I'm trying to think of other analogies to describe what I'm thinking, like in terms of the ship size and things.
Yeah. Is
Like
it
roughly-
at least in terms of sci-fi ships, is this a Like, what did we have before? Or what do we have now, I should say, with the Lagrange? Is it like a frigate-sized ship?
You're like a Firefly.
Okay. And the ship we're
maybe
going to
maybe
is
a little
bigger?
bit bigger, and you're going into a ship that would be almost twice the size of a Firefly.
Okay, so that almost seems like it would be like a cruiser close to.
Yeah, like a very like the tiniest cruiser.
Right, like smallest of that tier, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Because you said this was like a retrofitted, like patrol ship sort of thing, like a not like a bruiser per se, but like a light corvette sort of patrolling thing. Okay.
It's a military grade like brawler ship.
Okay.
Like the original design for the Lagrange is to let you escort or jump into a fight, do a bunch of damage, and then jump out.
Okay. And then what we're going to now is more of like a longer term bruiser almost, like one that can take a few more hits.
Yeah, you're going from like an armored Humvee to like an armored like an APC.
I was gonna
Armored
say
personnel
maybe
carrier.
Okay. Okay. I'm into that. Yeah, no specifics that I can think of at the moment that I'm looking
And we
for.
keep
So.
our railgun.
Yeah, are we keeping the guns? Like, because we had two
Um,
like flat cannons or whatever.
Presumably, your new ship will have guns.
Presumably.
But does it have a railgun?
It might. Depends on who you talk to, what ship you find, and et cetera, et
How
cetera.
much it costs.
and how much it costs and how much money you have. Like
Yeah.
if you strip parts, keeping in mind if you strip parts off the Lagrange, you're not going to get as much for it when you sell it.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, Seattle's also going to be like, if we can get discounts by having, like, say, Seattle and Seth go and work on some of the stuff themselves, Seattle's down for that.
Okay. A little bit of a fixer-upper kind of ship, possibly.
If we need to, yeah.
Treat her proper. This ship will be with you for the rest of your life.
It's literally what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Zoe's like, it's because it's death trap, sir. I'm so glad all of us were on the same page for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are options that are available for ships and things. And again, whatever you want it to look like, feel free to design something between like now and next week if you want, or sketch it out, whatever. It can look like whatever you want it to.
I'm not going to be able to sketch out a picture of the bridge like I managed to do for whatever game that was. Oh fuck, Hunters of Calamity.
I think so.
Yeah, Calamity.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was so long ago.
We can look up some reference after the fact. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too concerned with that. Does anyone else have any specifics in mind? Like better comms or shielding, or
Captain would like shielding.
we could probably use shielding. Yeah.
Captain would very much like shielding.
And you had said earlier, Raven, that the shielding isn't like we see it in sci-fi shows. It's like a lighter version of that, I think.
Yeah, it's more like deflector shields than like
Like a plasma absorbing kind of, yeah.
think like Star Wars shields versus Star Trek shields. You're more
Gotcha.
like Star Wars.
Oh,
Do we want to do the haggling with Annie, if at all? No pressure on Vanessa. I just want to know if we get more money or not.
Yeah.
If the crew gives her the go ahead, she can try. I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky's good for it. Everyone else?
sure.
Sounds like a resounding yes.
Okay,
Okay.
then that's what we're gonna do.
We're all gonna trust you, Annie.
All right, then Annie, if you're doing this, I need a charm roll.
All right. Let's see. This is what I've been training for, lads. I've got a plus 23 to charm. Oh, I'm going to use my Annie dice. Can you not put that bad juju into the universe, please? Okay, it wasn't a 1. 23. That's a 32.
Okay. How much did I say before? 110,000.
110.
Yeah.
It bumps it up to 120,000. And they don't ask you for a business license number or anything like that.
I'm going to preemptively accept that.
It's a good call. Yeah, I don't think we'll get much more.
Okay. And they give you coordinates to where, like, basically space DHL, where you can just drop it off and they'll deliver it.
Annie gives them whatever information they would need. I don't know how the money exchange is going to work, but if they need any information from her, she'll pass it along.
Yeah, it just gets wired to Conch Corp's bank account.
Sweet. Annie's going to send out that information to the rest of the crew for where to drop.
DLH dump load here, yeah. All right, cool. And Captain, you said you left a voicemail for Tolan. You get a voicemail back. And it is just weird beeping sounds on the other end. Just seem to keep repeating.
I roll an education to see if it's coded.
You absolutely can. And I'm going to paste what the beeps are into Zoom, Discord, and Twitch chat. So that everybody can see what you're... essentially see what you're hearing.
Do I have to go translate that?
No. I mean, unless you fail the roll.
Okay, fair. Roll. Roll your dice.
Well, that's not a nice message. What
Don't-
the hell?
And
Damn it, Tolan.
And what should I roll? Education, or do I need to roll something else?
Education.
Well, hopefully this will be enough.
28. You
Cool.
are not 100% sure, but you think it's might be some old, excuse me, simple code that was used hundreds of years ago, and you're able to sort of work it out, and figure out it eventually is, or eventually figured out that it is Morse code, and it reads Tolan captured, send help, 923 Mark 854 Mark 712.
Captain sends
Well,
out a message to the crew that says, Toland has been kidnapped.
Seattle's like, well, are we gonna go get him back?
Captain hesitates and then says, they are useful.
Kind of the only person willing to work with us.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Give
We
us
don't really have any
jobs.
other contacts, yeah. Would be useful to have them around. It's
How
not
are
something
we
I'd
on
like you
gas,
or anything
Raven?
back, huh?
Technically speaking, they're your oldest friend.
Yeah.
Well,
what was that,
technically.
Goody?
We met him on the first day.
The friend is a pretty strong statement.
Fair.
Raven, what's our gas at? Aren't we kind of low?
You
Or did we
refueled
fill up?
You refilled
We
on your
did.
way to the warehouse?
I was going to say,
So-
but we've been doing trips to the miners, Matt, and wherever this drop-off is.
Yeah, you probably need fuel if you're doing all of that.
Okay.
Which you could easily pick up at Matt's for 5,000 instead of 10,000.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't we get a discount at Matt's?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go refuel
Um,
and then go
9.
help Toland, I guess. So I'm assuming that those are coordinates?
They are spatial coordinates, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the translated version. I'm putting it into the chats.
Okay. Do we want to get a new ship before we go get Toland? Because if they're captured,
yeah,
that means an armed situation, probably.
And do we know, like, can we look on the, like a galaxy map where that is?
Yeah, you can. It is. How to describe this? It's off of a major trade lane. Not far off of it. Not quite like the core planets where the more wealthy folks are.
The rest of the way back up with water for me. Thank you.
And it's so not quite there, but not quite like Outer Rim either.
So it's like back roads. It's like acreage.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Kinda, yeah. So it's not like way out in the middle of nowhere, but it's close to the equivalent of an interstate highway. But it's not like in the middle of the core planets either, and the whole area is sort of has like a warning attached to it. It's like a radiation quarantine.
Oh, good.
You can do some tech engineering to look up the system and find out why, if you'd like.
I would love to do that because I've been rolling so well.
34. There was an experimental engine test that happened there 20 some odd years ago that did not go well, and it exploded and it irradiated that particular solar system. Is what the wiki says for that system.
So basically, don't go there.
Yeah.
Captain could.
That's true. The rest of us, maybe not so much. Okay. Does it say are there any systems within it? Like any planets, anything like that?
Yeah, there's some planets that used to be inhabited. To borrow a Star Trek phrase, there are M-class planets in the solar system.
Thank you.
But no one really lives there because of the radiation warning.
Right.
If you read further in the wiki page, like the company that did the engine test, like paid to have everybody evacuated and moved elsewhere.
Gotcha.
So it's like Chernobyl.
Yeah, I was thinking like Fukushima.
Yeah, that's what the article or the wiki information says about it. You can dig deeper if you want to, or leave it at that.
I think I'd like to dig deeper because maybe we'll have an idea of what they are doing there instead. Because no one captures someone and takes them out to an irradiated zone for nothing.
Okay.
That seems suspect.
Let me get a...
Seattle holds his hand up.
Do an education check for that one. What's up?
We have bodies we could use.
Do you mean the androids?
God, I hope you mean the androids.
I don't think there is any other bodies on the ship at this moment. I hope not.
There better not be.
The way Seattle makes it like purposely harder to distinguish what's happening.
Yeah.
Like you could have said androids, but instead you opted for bodies.
Bodies. We got bodies. We got all kinds of bodies.
It's what they are to him. The same thing as dead human bodies. They're bodies.
Yeah, that's why we're concerned. How do you mean we could use them?
Same thing that we did with the tabernacle.
I've honestly forgotten what we did with that.
We remote piloted it.
Remote
Oh,
pilot.
okay. Okay. Sorry, I was totally
Like,
lost on that
we
one.
can simply
You're
use
good.
we can simply use the 360 the 360 game that Liam likes to use and retrofit it and just use it for a couple of people to go in using those bodies. We wouldn't have to worry nearly as much about the radiation.
Oh,
Sure.
that reminds me. Also, after your trip to Matt's, Fuel at Matt's, with the shopping center and everything, Seattle, there is a full VR set just like left on your bed with a little bow on top.
Aw, he thinks I'm gonna use this one.
Gonna get shanked in the middle of the night.
You're gonna wake up with a VR set taped to your face.
Just super glued.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's an option for sure. I am gonna roll. Was it education you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
Yeah.
That doesn't really give you any new information.
Okay.
You do have a crit available if you want to use it for this, or just let it go.
Yeah, I think I'll save it. I'm good. We'll find out one way or another, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Well, then that's all you're able to kind of dig up on it.
Feel free to
So-
weigh in. Anyone else? Whatever we want to do.
Seattle gave his idea.
I would be willing to go in on my own.
If you're okay with that, Cap.
Certainly, the radiation will not affect me.
Would it affect the ship?
We would have to
Potentially.
place it in a lead-lined area for a while for it to spend off its half-life. I would have to also exist within a lead-lined area for a while to wear off my half-life.
There's methods of cleaning both you and the ship that will reduce that by a great deal.
I should hope we have some sort of radiation scrubber in the future.
Yeah, there definitely would be. Not for this level, but
Mhm.
you know, for humans anyways, but for an android or a ship or equipment or things like that, it would be pretty effective. That level of radiation you would know would affect sensors, and could affect some of your internal systems, Captain, but you should be able to survive it. You just might need some repairs afterwards.
That's fair. Well, we have bits, don't we?
You
Um,
do.
Seattle's gonna go about making Captain like a lens, some like thin like lead foil lining for some more internal bits.
Okay.
Then Captain's going to go change into what she used to have to wear to do missions, which is essentially just a cat suit,
Okay.
and she hates it.
Seattle's looking very
That's fair.
disturbed at the sight of you in a cap suit. It does not look right.
And her braids are like pinned up on her head.
It's like everything about this is like, this is wrong.
It is.
I
And
feel
Captain
like-
hates it.
I feel like Annie sees this and she's like, huh?
Looking good, Cap.
Captain's gonna look at Annie and say, "At this point, you should have full memory of this, I would imagine."
Annie kind of stands there for a second where she doesn't know how to respond, but then that kind of melts away and she winks at you, Cap, and gives you like a, click, and she says, "Looking good, Cap."
No, this looks horrible on
Captain just kind of stands there and is like, "No."
Annie shrugs. Like, okay.
Daisy's like, huh, that's a look. That's about all she says on it.
Seattle's like, it looks uncomfortable.
It is what I was originally created for. This is technically my default clothing, if I had to describe it in some way.
Your default clothing sucks.
My default clothing is not ideal for my own liking, no. But at the time of my creation, my own liking was nobody's main concern.
Oh, it's awkward.
So are you directing the ship to those coordinates now?
Yes.
And then just doing all of this while you're on the way?
Yep.
Okay. Well then.
Seattle's making sure to like shore up Captain's communication system so she'll be able to have like a steady line back to the ship.
Okay.
Question about that code that was sent to us. Is it possible that there is something, there's like an extra layer to it? You know how sometimes they'll make something like that, but it'll also be like a substitution code?
It's a good question. You can certainly
Yeah,
try.
especially with those periods.
It makes me wonder, just because we don't really have a lot. So I will grasp at straws, hoping that one of them is a straw. I never understood that. Like, you're grasping at straws. They're all there. They're just straws. Just pick up the straws. So what would you like me to roll?
Pretty sure it means like hay straw, not drinking straw.
Oh! Well, there's also straw there. Just pick it up. It's just straw, for God's sake. It's not going to bite you.
Just
have
straws.
you ever grabbed like a handful of straws? It does feel like it's biting you.
Well, just pick it up if that's all you wanted. You just wanted anyway. What would you like me to roll for this?
Yes, Ray Cry, I agree.
Oh my God.
Tech engineering.
Okay. Just showing how alien I feel. God. Like, I don't understand you humans in this fascination with straw.
Yeah, you don't really.
You wouldn't
find
call it
anything
straws that you wouldn't call individual. Anyway, I'm sorry.
different. I could
it's
be
straw,
wrong,
whether it's plural or singular.
but I think where it comes from is the idea of like you're gonna fall, and so you're grasping at something to keep you from falling, and you're grasping at straws, which are not.
I'll have to look
you.
it up afterwards.
I
me
just
too,
looked
I'm
up the
curious.
etymology. It comes
Please.
from a phrase that was from an original work in 1534, which refers to a drowning man grasping for anything, even a straw, to save his life.
Okay. See, that
Yeah.
that makes way more sense. Okay, and it just got added with an S at the end. Interesting.
Sorry, but aren't we like a sci-fi show? Why are we going into the etymology of grasping at straws?
Why not?
Because we have
It was
to know.
a question. We provided an answer. Now, if anybody's watching the show, they'll also
they'll have it.
get some education.
And now
well,
you've learned something.
Raven, you can add the educational tag to the
The
stream
more
now.
you know.
Entertainment and education. It's a good time for everybody.
We'll have to. I'll have to tell Calliope about this because she's doing her whole dissertation on education.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Gaming.
That's right. Well, gamifying education, kids. 24 is what it was.
Yeah, you're not able to glean any new information.
I figured it was worth a check, you know, just in case we get there and they're like, "Well, you didn't get the special code." And we're like, "No, we didn't open the right cereal box."
Okay, cool. Where were we? Grasping at straws, right? Is there anything you want to do on the way there aside from give Captain some a lead hoodie or something like that?
Probably just make sure the railgun's prepped and ready, just, you know, in case things go horribly.
Yeah, all systems are operational. You're all good to go. Doing pretty decent on fuel.
Do we have a way to leadline one of our suits? Not for like permanent protection, but for enough that we could, go in and say get the captain if we needed to. Go in and get out within like 10 minutes.
You could certainly try. I mean, the suits
Okay.
are already shielded against radiation.
But probably
But
not
you
to
could-
this level.
Yeah, you'd probably need to go get lead for that. Since you
Right,
probably
okay.
don't have like that kind of quantity on the ship. You probably have a little
Fair.
bit that you could salvage for the thing for captain, but that's about it. And even then, it would probably be pretty risky at the levels of
Mhm.
radiation that were listed.
Well, I mean, if Captain also gets kidnapped, risk is worth taking, I think. That's Sparky's thought on it is, worst case, if we need to run in, what do we do?
Worst case, there could potentially be like safe route or something or a safer route that you could potentially navigate or try to find. There would be options.
Sorry, I know that we kind of touched on this before, but can you just refresh my memory? What exactly it was that we know about this irradiated area? I know you said that people were kind of moved out so that, allegedly they wouldn't be in that zone. But what do we know about it in particular, about this radiation that's supposedly there? I'm not totally convinced that it's irradiated.
It's a valid point.
Sorry, one sec. So the story was that experimental new engine was essentially test flown in the system. It went catastrophically wrong, and the explosion irradiated the solar system essentially. And so the couple of inhabited planets, the company that built the engine paid to quickly get everybody out of there. And so now the system is reportedly uninhabited. There's warnings that say it's not safe for entry, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it common knowledge, like is it easy to grab to see how many planets were affected, what the total population moved was, and what the
type of
compensation
radiation?
was? Yeah, and what compensation they were given for moving, if any.
Easy access public knowledge would tell you the populations of the planets, which are relatively small for a planet. The type of radiation is like whatever radiation is common for engines.
Yeah, just if there's any specific, yeah.
Yeah, not there's not like a specific one that you would need to know for mechanics or anything like that. So gamma radiation? Question mark.
It's probably gamma.
What were the other questions?
What compensation they would have received for moving off planet?
That information isn't publicly available, but you could try to dig in and get it.
Yeah, let's see what we can get. Because like I said, I'm not totally convinced that this place is actually irradiated. Why would you take a captive to an irradiated system? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm calling bullshit.
Okay.
What would you like me to roll?
It's gonna be tech engineering. I'm assuming you're wanting to hack into.
Yeah, let's see what we
databases
can
to
dig
find
up.
this information.
Ooh, not bad. 44.
44. Yeah, you're able to access a little bit of information. You get shut out after a couple moments, but the information you do retrieve is that one person, at least, received an amount of compensation that seems kind of high. Granted, it is a catastrophic explosion that displaced 2 planets worth of people, so compensation would probably be high, but it seems a little high even for that.
So Annie gets locked out of this information, and I assume she's doing it where everybody else is. Like, she's not holed up in a room or anything. She gets locked out, and you hear this kind of like laugh from her, but it's the kind of exasperated laugh where somebody snubs you and you're like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, this does not fly for her. And it's almost like she's taking it as a challenge. She doesn't like that at all. So she gets this kind of like laugh to her that's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. what about general census records, I guess would be the best way to put it, for these planets? Is there anything that indicates that there was any factory work, any resources, things like that that would have made this planet particularly valuable in a large context? Not anything like super specific, but was there anything on it, I guess?
Yeah, there's nothing that seems obviously valuable about the planets themselves. The location is next to a trade lane, which is nice. But aside from that, there's really not a whole lot of like, there's no like, oh, that planet's, known for having this natural resource in abundance or anything like that. They seem like pretty bland planets, actually.
Okay. I had another question and then I got excited about it and it flew out of my head.
Oh no. Just let me know if you remember it.
Yeah, for sure.
You said something about census information. Did it have something to do with that?
No, that was mainly like to see if, because you said it was a relatively small population for the planet itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think it had anything to do with that. Gosh. Oh, it was a good question too. I know it was a good question. I can't remember what it was.
Gotcha. Yeah, the equivalent would be like, the small town that gets the highway built right next to it, but so it's like probably gonna grow, but it hasn't yet. That's kind of where
I remember
it was.
like a bit of the question. I don't remember the full question, but I do remember a little bit of it. Is there any public record to do with, or not the details itself, but is there any proof that, people went in to essentially check the levels of radiation? Like, were there any follow-up?
Right, or did they just bury it?
Yeah, like what do we know? Is there anybody who went back in to kind of say, hey, yeah, radiation's still bad, don't come back?
Yeah, the company did pay for a survey team to go in and measure the levels of radiation, and they came back and said, "Yep, this is bad," and reported the levels.
Sorry, I'm getting interested now. Is
I'm
there
here
a
for it.
name
I'm
to
enjoying
this?
it.
Okay. I feel like having Annalise's memories back is like, yes, I can now dig into things with a a vengeance. Is the name of the survey team public? Was it a company that they hired?
Yeah, it was probably some like mediocre, moderately known survey company that took the contract.
Can I find if this company worked with the company of the guys who kicked everybody out and said radiation? Have they had ties with them before, or have they worked with them before? Can I check that out?
Yeah. There's no clear tie between the companies. You probably find stuff where like they have worked with each other before, but not like a lot. Nothing that looks suspicious. Anyways.
Wouldn't our ship also have our own Geiger counter?
Yeah.
Can we check if it's actually like heavily irradiated?
Once we're close, I'd assume.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to check into on that? Yes, mediocre moderates.
Nothing for now. Annie would kind of voice her thoughts, though, not to anybody in particular, just a little bit out loud as she's doing this digging. So she's just kind of like talking to the air as she's doing it and explaining what she's doing. And she expresses that, it seems a little strange to her that they would pay this high to move people. And then, that's kind of the end of it, especially with something that is close to a trade route. Like, seems like maybe they just, had an option to push out a population that was small enough without raising too much fuss, and avoided a situation kind of like with the miners who decided to fight back. So, why not tell them that the place is full of radiation, and if they want to have their health protected, move on out. It's
Here's
kind
a
of
question
that
for
line of
you.
thinking.
Is there any record, and this may be just galaxy-wide, is there any record of travel within that sector? Say within the last month?
How do you mean travel?
Like if there's been ships in and out, either like detecting ion trails, or if there's literally just like a government group that tracks every registered system or something like that.
There's not really anything like that that tracks that much data, just because the sheer amount of data that would be literally
people do
astronomical.
love their bureaucracy.
Thanks. But you could potentially try to take those readings from just outside the system if you wanted to.
That's kind of what I think Sparky would mention that to Annie, is like, we could see if there's been recent travel, and if there's been more travel than just this one group, then maybe it's not just an irradiated wasteland.
Also, could I get a gut feeling check from Annie?
Oh goodness, we can try it out, I guess. That's a 20, a dirty 20.
It's something like, it's on the tip of your tongue, like it's just like on the back of your brain, like something's bugging you about this. You're not sure if you're right or wrong, but it's definitely something still making you think that there's something about this that's a little off. You're not sure what it is, but something about the situation isn't what it appears to be. You're pretty sure.
She kind of leans back in her chair at whatever console she's at, and she lets out one of those laughs again. The like, "Oh, buddy," I'm feeling this now, and she just kind of talks into the air and says, "There's, for lack of a I'm going to take the moment. I have a bad feeling about this."
Now, is Annie on the bridge?
Yeah, I feel so.
Okay, so Captain is going to turn and look at her and say, "What is your intuition saying?"
There's
What's
just
bad feeling?
I don't know. There's something kind of tickling the back of my brain that, if only I could remember, I'd probably have a better answer to the question. But there's something that I can't remember. This something seems off.
I lack intuition. I am fascinated by humans with their intuition. As many say, it is often accurate. If you
I'd
believe
like to
something,
think my intuition's pretty good. Yeah.
do you believe I should not go in, Annie?
It's not that I don't think you should go in. It's just, I don't know. It seems altogether strange to me that they would capture Tolan just to bring him into an irradiated zone. I don't know. It just, why?
To be
Why
fair,
spend?
to be fair, I do not believe Toland was very well liked.
I mean, valid.
Question. Sorry, go ahead. No, I'll wait.
Oh, I was just going to say valid, but also it wouldn't just be Tolan involved in this whole thing. Like, they'd have to get him there, and that would involve people as well. So, whatever group this is or individual would still have to kind of subject themselves to that same thing, right?
Are you worried this is some form of ambush directed towards us?
That's not my first thought. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. It's just that there's something distinctly off about it, and I can't put my finger on it immediately. I mean, I'll stew on it and try to figure it out, but I don't know. It doesn't add up correctly for me. Then again, I never really liked math. It's important, I guess, for what I do, but anyway, not the point. It's weird.
I do not believe Tolan seeks their life seeking to be liked. However, I do not believe a human should be discarded into radioactive waste. If a human is left in these radiation levels, they will die a very painful death.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Toland has made mistakes and done intentionally bad things, but I do not believe they deserve to die that kind of death.
But then I suppose you also have to take into account who was the one who sent the coded message. I mean, if they just kind of dumped Toland somewhere, it would have needed to be somewhere where that was accessible to be able to send a message or something to that degree. So I don't know. It could be an ambush if they sent the message purposefully. I just, like I said, I don't know. There's just something about it that's weirded me out.
This is why I'm offering to allow myself to come along. However, I have had an idea. I need to go speak with Seattle.
Okay. I mean, I'm not against you going. I'm sure the damage would be more minimal to you than it would for any of us walking meat bags to fly out there into radiation. But yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
And I am designed to handle small armies.
That is true.
And by handle, I mean maim.
That is true.
Also, real quick, thank you, Bodalia, for the 10,000 gold coins to redeem an advantage for random, which I rolled and it landed on Captain. So sounds like you're gonna need it. Thank you again.
So I had a question. We'd been in contact with one of Toland's other, I wanted to say stooges, mercs, people that he kind of sends on jobs. This was season 2, I think. Would it be possible to reach out to one of them and see when they last had contact?
We still have Lagu's number.
We also have Lagu's number. Yeah.
Who was in directly working because Toland hired Lagu to babysit us.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to reach out to other people and just see if anyone else has any information before we. Yeah.
Oh, you know who else was in contact with Toland? Val.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Val was working for Toland as well. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, because I mean, if other people have recently been in contact with Toland, then it could just be a setup on our part.
Right, I'm wondering if there's something going on, and if there hasn't, then if there's any discrepancies in when they last, talked to them, or if they know anyone that might want Toland dead. If it's just
reach out to them. Hell yeah.
Reach out and touch faith,
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I get speech rolls from anybody who wants to try talking to some of these contacts?
Can.
I'll do some.
Let's see what we got.
I got a whole plus 18 to that, so as long as I don't whiff again.
What is my speech at?
My
21 speech isn't bad.
Before I whiff. Oh no, okay. Flat 30. 30? I'm good with that.
Okay. Who would you like to talk to?
28.
Of those three
I'll wait to see
options.
what everyone else prefers. Does anyone have a preference for who to talk to?
No.
Not really.
Okay. So you said it was Val, Lagu, and the other person whose name?
Yeah, there was another, I think, little group.
I can't remember who it was.
I don't think we even named them.
I don't think so, yeah. They were just a one-off.
They were like a couple of red shirts, essentially.
I think I'd probably talk to them, because I think Sparky was the last person to talk to them of the group. So there'd be more explaining to be done if it was Captain or Annie.
Okay. The last... they had heard from Toland was about a month ago.
Okay.
They said they were sent on a job. It took them a few weeks to get it done, and they still haven't gotten paid for it. And they're actually a little annoyed at that.
Interesting. Do they know of anyone that might want Toland dead? Any, obviously a broker like that probably has enemies, but do they know of anyone recently or specifically?
Yeah, when you ask that, there's longer than is necessary amount of laughter.
Okay.
And no, they don't know anyone specifically that would be really gunning for Toland right now.
Okay. I think Sparky would not mention anything about the potential rescue plan, just like oh, okay, we also didn't get paid for a job, so we just wanted to double check if we were getting stiffed.
Yeah, they make some sort of like, bonding complaint and gripe about it, and that's about it, and they end the call.
Okay.
Captain with the 28, who did you want to contact?
Take Val. You're probably
Yeah,
best.
Val.
suited to
I'm gonna
talk
take
to
Val.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Val.
Yeah, so with a 28, you're able to talk to Val. They seem pleased to hear from you. And they're quite friendly. What specifically do you ask?
When did you last hear from Toland?
We last heard from Tolan about a week ago.
Did they seem under any form of duress or distress?
I'm sorry, that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
No more than usual. Tolan's always sounds nervous and anxious.
Toland has a problem with an ulcer. Correct. But did they give any indication of no longer wishing to work or being under any form of duress?
No, we talked about a job. I told him I wasn't interested in it, and we ended the call on. He wasn't upset or anything about it. We just ended the call.
Will you do me a small favor at this moment?
Depends on the favor.
Will you call Toland right now?
Sure. Hold on. And you can hear like another comms device essentially dialing a number. There's a small pause, and then they come back to the phone and they're like, yeah, it went straight to voicemail.
Did you leave a voicemail?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
I mean, I can call again and leave a message for you if you would like.
I do not believe that will accomplish anything.
That does seem strange since you seem to have a working comm device. I agree.
Yes. Toland seems to be captured. But the only evidence of their capture is a Morse code message stating their capture and a point of coordinates. I was simply curious if our number or our signal was flagged to trigger that, or if anyone would trigger it.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, Morse code's weird. That doesn't seem like Tolan's speed.
It does not. Toland does not have the time for Morse code.
Yeah, the only people I know that still use Morse code anymore are very old smugglers. Very old smugglers. Some dead language enthusiasts. I know the military types use it on occasion. That's about all I can think of that would still use something like that.
The location it's sending us to is heavily irradiated.
Well, that seems like a literal red flag.
Yes. We're going to see if Toland needs rescuing, as they are a human who does not deserve to be melted from the inside out.
Wow. You all are a lot closer with Toland than, well, certainly more than I am.
Oh no, he is terrified of us and is disgusted by most of our actions.
That tracks.
But he is also the only one who gives us jobs.
Huh. Well, you know, if the whole Tolan thing, rescue plan thing doesn't pan out for you and you're not liquid, at the end of it, give me a call. I'm sure I could probably find you somebody could get you some work.
That is much appreciated. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem.
Goodbye.
All right. So, what do you want to do with this new information?
So Morse code is only used by old school military types. That makes
We
me
have
nervous.
an old school military type hunting us.
Yeah.
Wait, do we? Who?
Rip.
No,
No.
Daisy's girlfriend's phone.
Oh, that's right.
I
He's
didn't
a-
even think of that, Dink.
He's a GPF operative. Not necessarily old school military type, but would fit the military description probably.
I don't love it.
Why would he know about Tolan though? That seems like a bit of a leap.
How well kept of a secret is Tolan, though? Because they seem to have their fingers in a lot of stuff.
Annie's the only one that would know this. Does Annie think this and say it out loud?
Think what in particular?
How this person would know about would potentially know about Tolan.
Oh, okay. If the discussion is in her area, yes. If she overhears like, oh, you know, this is the only kind of guy that we know, then yeah, she'd think about it, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
All right, then you would know that Tolan as an entity is not particularly a secret, but his location is always very secret. Like trying to actually physically find him is like legendarily impossible.
Okay. So the concept of him isn't what's on lockdown. It's not like, you know, I had to ask a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who this guy was or how to get in contact with him. It's more so like he is moving constantly and nobody knows where he is.
Yeah, like if you're involved in mercenary work or smuggling or anything that's less than legal, you probably know who Tolan is.
Yeah, Annie would probably kind of say that out loud, just like, you know, his location is the thing that's usually pretty hushed, not the fact that he exists. Can I roll again to see if anything else comes to mind? I'm desperately trying to ask myself a whole bunch of questions as to why Annie would feel that this is wrong somehow, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Would you say that you're grasping at straws?
You know what? I feel like this is the letter of the day on Sesame Street. Like, this is the phrase. Yes, I'm grasping at straws.
Okay. Yeah, you could roll. You could roll education to sort of like try and go down the role of the go down the road of deductive reasoning, to try to see if you figure out anything else, or gut feeling if you want to try to get a hunch, which is going to be more vague. I'd say tech engineering, but it doesn't sound like you have a specific topic that you know to look up yet.
Yeah, no, she's just trying to pinpoint exactly why it is that she has that tickle in her brain that's telling her to stop for a second, and she's like, okay, but why? Yeah, so I rolled gut feeling preemptively because I was impatient. So I rolled a 28.
28?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just... The more you think about it and the more you dwell on it, the more your gut says, like, something is off about this. Like, a radioactive explosion of that size, there should be, reports of deaths and things like that, and you didn't really notice any casualty reports. It could be just that they covered it up or kept it quiet, but it does seem a little weird.
Right. Come back to me. I'll try to think of another way
Okay.
around this.
All right. Is there anything anybody else wants to do right now?
No, I think Sparky's probably like sitting near Annie, but not like next to her. Just kind of sitting in the same room, like maybe a console adjacent, and is probably just bouncing ideas out at Annie to see if anything like clicks. But it's nothing concrete. They're literally just going over what they know and like conjecturing.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I've been busy looking at spaceship designs.
That's totally fine. All right. In that
Captain's
case,
gonna go sharpen her arm blades.
Nice.
Yaddle's gonna go and make dinner.
That sounds good.
It's a good idea. Might be the last time we make dinner in here in a while.
That's true. The Last Supper on the Lagrange, if you will. I couldn't resist.
We're buying a new ship. We're not dying. Hopefully.
With us, you never know.
Question mark? Anyways, well, in that case, we'll fast forward to being just outside the system, and as soon as you are even remotely close to that solar system, all the alarm lights and notices and things like that light up on the consoles on the bridge. There are buoys that constantly emit out, like, turn back type things. Like, it's very obvious that you shouldn't be here.
Cool. Stupid question. Does the radiation come from deep within the system, or are we just detecting it on the edge?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Okay, cool. Because I'm getting this like rat poison on the border feeling.
You can use the ship's sensors. So the ship itself should have a stat for this.
Let me look. Let me pull up the ship.
Which is going to be sight for the ship.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
What's that? Bad?
Yeah.
Sight, you said?
I think for this one, yeah.
Okay.
Since you're just trying to detect, like, basic information.
Like how far it goes, yeah.
Yeah. 21. From what
Can
you
I
can
add anything to that from my androidness?
No, because it's limited by your ship sensors. Like, I'm just assuming you're automatically succeeding at reading them, essentially.
Okay.
But the ship can only sense so much. So with a 21, everything that you're seeing looks consistent with, lower levels of radiation at the edge, and it gets higher as it goes in. You can't see that far into the system, though.
Okay.
And it does look like the radiation is preventing that, essentially.
Okay.
Almost like trying to shine a bright light into a cloud of fog. Once the
Right.
sensor beam gets so far out, it just sort of scatters.
Right.
Right.
But it doesn't mean there's not less fog beyond
It's
that.
very true.
I won't.
No, I'm
I
with
won't
you.
let this go.
I'm 100%.
No, I
with you,
feel
but at
you.
the
I feel
moment,
you.
Like, we'll still have to go through radiation regardless. Yeah. Yeah. I think Sparky's leaving this one in Captain's hands. This is definitely her. It's her going in, so it's her prerogative. Not that it doesn't always, but more so.
Would you like to check for like the ship wake, like you were mentioning earlier? There,
Oh,
Sparky?
yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that one's probably going to be more of like a hearing check for the ship.
Oh, God. Okay. Wouldn't. Oh, no, that's even worse. I was going to say it wouldn't be smell or taste, but that's worse.
No, that's worse. I'm kind of judging
Not
it as
bloody
like,
20, though.
nice. Kind of viewing it as like sight as like your more obvious sensors, and then the more detailed you get to like hearing, and then smell and taste is like, I want very specific information.
Right, granular, yeah.
But with a nat 20 on your sensors for the ship for that, yeah, you actually can see that there has been some traffic. It's literally impossible to tell how long ago it was because of the decay rate and the radiation.
Of course.
So,
but do we have like a heading at least?
Yeah, like no roll would make you be able to see that. But you can see that, yeah, it seems to go into the system. It goes past the radiation. There's only one trail that you're able to notice.
Okay.
Though it is quite wide. Which would
quite
suggest
wide as
either
though it's like a large ship, or
as it would suggest it's either a large ship or maybe several ships.
and the wake is
formation.
just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sparky would pass that over to everyone and would try to make like a visual representation of it on the screen.
Yeah, you could pull that up.
Here I thought we were gonna do mashed potatoes again.
Much
Yes,
like
you see the peas are the breadcrumbs.
Much like trying to sense the radiation, it does sort of like fizzle out past a certain point. As it
But
gets
it's
to the
enough that we
outer
could
ridge.
potentially follow it.
You have a heading, yes,
Okay.
which is towards the coordinates that you were given.
Okay. That's good. Question mark.
Yeah. So someone or someones have flown through here within at least the past month. Like, you'd probably know enough to know that it's between like a day and a month old.
That checks out.
That's
Nobody's
fair.
Nobody's gonna take a casual trip through a fucking cloud of radiation to cut 5 minutes off their travel time. You know, like, it just doesn't make sense. If
Yeah.
the place is full of radiation, you're gonna go around the damn thing.
So they
I
went
love
through
how
for a
incensed you are.
reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to Captain, but I think we should go in.
Captain agrees we should at least check it out,
Okay.
even if it means Captain going in on her own.
All right.
Yes.
But
On
she
her
does
own.
still have the thing that she
Right.
wants to talk to Seattle about.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Also, could I have, given that I basically now know what your sensors are seeing, could I get a sight roll from anyone that's on the bridge?
Oh,
That was doing those sensor sweeps. So definitely Sparky and Captain, for sure. And then I guess Annie potentially as well. You would like
You said sight?
sight? Yes.
I got a
I
17.
was going to say, we can only see
Yikes.
past the ends of our noses.
Okay. 25.
Better.
Oh, the 19 was for Sparky. I see it now.
Yeah.
The first 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie.
I'm ready to fight God. What do I see?
You don't really see anything substantial, but there is a tiny little glitch, kind of blip on the radar for just a second, right at the edge of your rear sensor's range.
What do I have, my damn eyes closed or something? What the fuck, man? All right. I feel like Annie sees that, and she just kind of, and I'm pulling from an old joke that we made in the Discord one day when I was talking about Annalise. But she sees this and she leans into like the screen of the sensor, and she says under her breath, as she looks at it, she just goes, "Good fucking morning, everyone. God has let me live another day, and I'm about to make it everyone's problem."
My God, I remember that meme.
Yeah. Is there anything else that she can do from her end? Like, can she try to use the sensors again? Can she, try her hand at anything to see what is available to her?
You could try to narrow the sensors on the ship to that spot if you want. Basically, just do open the look. Oh, words are hard. Open the Lagrange character sheet and hit sight, and see if maybe the sensors will pick up something a little more.
Lagrange character sheet. Oh, okay.
And then I need to make a roll of something. Here's my d20. There it is.
Ma'am?
What is it that I have? Is that an advantage or a crit?
That is a crit.
That's a crit. Okay, I'm gonna roll and see, and if not, I'm you guys, I'm in a headspace.
Honestly,
I need to know.
No. If it's what I think it is, I would love to know, because I'm wondering if this is the same thing that was dogging us earlier.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Lagrange. Sorry, what was it? Sight?
Sight.
Okay, I just hit the button. What was it?
24.
24.
A 24.
Yeah. You try to tweak the sensors and like narrow the range there and everything, but nothing shows back up again.
Just crit it. Just crit it. Annalise is here to make her starring debut today. Just crit it. I want to know.
Because if it's Rip following us, then that is all kinds of interesting.
It doesn't look like Rip's ship. That small one-person craft that you saw a while back, that kept sort of fading in and out of the edge of your sensors. You do get for like 3 seconds a solid image of that profile, that sort of silhouette on the sensors, and then you can see it is moving away.
Is there any way to
sensors.
like essentially screen grab that, like screenshot it?
I think we
yeah,
did
the
have
sensor.
We had a solid silhouette of it last time too, didn't we? It was just like a standard, like single person ship. It wasn't even anything special.
Yeah,
if I remember right. I can't remember if we.
It's it looks like it might have been modified, but the model is a typical wealthy person's sort of single person cruiser. You know, if the equivalent of like a small private jet, if you will.
Right.
Though this one does look like it's had some modifications, but you can't tell at this range what they are. But yeah, you're able to compare the two, and it is the same ship.
Great. Love that.
Got some
Seattle's
concerns.
like, do you want to try and ping them?
That's essentially what just happened.
I was gonna say we dropped the sonar essentially, and we got
Well,
them.
no, it made like communication ping.
Oh,
you can absolutely try to hail them.
That's
funny
what
feeling I
Seattle
know
is
how that's gonna go.
suggesting at this point.
If
Annie
you
looks
ask
to the
her,
others on the
Captain
bridge.
will try.
Seattle looks to Captain. Do you want to hail them?
I suppose I could try. Do I have to roll something to hail them?
No. Just what do you say when you try to hail them?
I believe this is the second time you have come into our sensors. Do you need something?
Ooh.
Seattle's actually laughing. Yeah, no, see, Seattle's laughing. It is a silent wheeze.
There's no audio response or video response, but a text message does show up on the ship's like main communication channel, and it's just two chickens, like a two chicken emoji. It's the only thing you get.
Annie's just like, oh great, we get to add chickens to our frogs.
Seattle reaches out and sends back 2 frogs.
Like there's no response or anything like that. It doesn't even show as like delivered.
2 chickens.
Are they referring to us as cowards?
It's a good question.
Maybe.
Seattle sends a picture of their rooster.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Again, you get like the there's like the send delivered
Like cannot deliver.
red notifications. It doesn't say cannot deliver. It stays constantly on sent and never shows delivered.
Huh. Doesn't even have the courtesy to leave us on red.
Oh my god, V.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I
I
have
was
no
thinking
idea what
the
you're
same
talking
thing.
about.
I can
I was thinking the
relax.
same
I gotta
thing.
say, you're not far off.
I mean, it's probably better than most of the ones that get sent.
Probably better, yeah. I think Sparky's like put it out of their mind because they're
Okay.
more focused on the radiation at hand, if you will, than someone who's not actually doing anything to us. Like they're not attacking us. They're not probably stealing any valuable information from us. Who gives a shit? Like we have literally bigger fish to fry.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then is the plan then to send Captain out with a shuttle?
So far.
I think so. Yeah, like it's gonna take a while, but it's better than risking the entire ship.
She should probably roll a sight check when she gets in the shuttle.
Probably, yeah.
But there is still something I want to discuss with Seattle.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Right.
yeah. Do the thing.
So Captain approaches Seattle. Says, I will be entering the highly irradiated zone with a shuttle. These androids we have various settings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would like 3 of them set to navigation to control the shuttle to safety if I am not on it. Or, if possible, if any of them have any form of combat setting, even if it is rudimentary, have that be an option as well. It would be a body to throw at them.
Thumbs up and warns you about the remote control one in the back of the shuttle.
What did you do?
What we talked about, I made it like the shuttle.
Captain had already left the...
Oh no, this was already done
This
a while
was
ago.
done a while ago.
Oh,
I knew I
as
saw
soon
you
as
doing
as
rolls.
soon as you guys
Mhm.
left Seattle alone with the bodies, this happened.
yeah, so, yeah, leave that one alone. I don't think we need that one. But,
He
If-
also reinforced the communication systems in the shuttle.
good. That will be necessary. Yeah, that's about it. I just want a few androids set to useful.
Seattle
on
nods
the-
to that and goes off to go and put together another 3 androids.
Okay. Was that on the Lagrange or on the shuttle?
That was on the
They're
shuttle.
going to come with me on the shuttle.
Because we
Okay.
do have Liam who knows how to pilot the ship.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just make sure I know where where those androids are ending up.
yeah. They'll be on the shuttle with Captain.
Okay. Well, yeah. As you start,
Do-
put the
Do they
androids
have
together and
navigation and combat?
Yep, if possible.
Can we
they-
activate both in them?
They do have pilot. They do not have combat. The closest thing is home security.
Take it, give them a gun.
All right.
I do have a terrible suggestion. You could turn them on to nurse mode, but have their sensors be faulty. So they think they're supposed to be, cutting off of a gangrenous limb or something like that.
For some reason, when you said nurse, I thought nursemaid. So, like, have them
Same.
be
Seattle's
protecting
low-key
a baby.
terrified of that because what the fuck, Sparky? What if that they wake up on the ship?
I
Yeah,
did
let's
say it
not
was a
do
dangerous
anything-
idea.
Like, nothing that could potentially attack Captain. Just like,
Okay.
not that she
Right.
couldn't destroy them easily, but
Yeah.
No, basically Seattle has it set to, if in doubt, they are to protect Captain.
Okay. So there's
but they also have to listen to Captain.
Oh yeah, all orders come from
They will.
Captain.
That's totally fine. Okay. So one set into pilot mode, two set into home security mode.
Yep.
Okay. You load them on there. They're activated. They do the standard like, "Hello, username not found. How can I be of service today?" Things like that.
Captain just says, designated user, Captain.
Welcome, Captain. Would you like to take a few moments to register me?
Captain thinks about it, looks at the android, and says, Rose.
They tilt their head and like, sorry, I didn't understand that. Would you like to take a few moments to register me with the manufacturer?
No. Designation, Rose.
I see. You would like to name me Rose.
Correct.
Very well. I will remind you later about the options of registering me with the manufacturer.
Not interested.
Great. I'll remind you later. Doesn't say
Slumber.
anything until you talk to it. Okay. Yeah, they go into sleep mode. And then I take it. Do you fly off from the ship?
I guess so, with my 2 stupid androids.
All right.
You're 3 stupid androids and one puppeteered body.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right, then you're able to fly the shuttle out, and you take off. And as soon as you get past those buoys, the shuttle starts to shake just a little bit. The sensors pop up, and you can see it. It's like the equivalent of if you were to hold a compass and it just starts spinning around in circles. Everything's going haywire. There's alarm bells going off, and it gets really tense. And then right at that moment, as you're trying to figure out what's going on, there's a voice from behind you that goes, "Hi, I'd like to talk to you about your robot's extended warranty program." And that's where we'll end the session. Yep. We were trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Disappointed, but not at all surprised. Wow, my brain had to buffer for a second there. Jesus.
It's
To be
okay.
fair, you've been trying to like integrate two very different characters into one and have like the old one screaming at everything the new one has done so far.
Gotta have a little bit of buffer room in there.
Yeah, I
Yep.
feel like in terms of Annie as a whole, she's been focused so much on this particular mission so that she doesn't have to think about anything else. So
But yeah,
it didn't happen if I don't think about
So,
it.
God damn it, Andy, can your boyfriend stop playing chicken with us?
Is that who it is, though?
You don't know.
Oh, most probably.
All right. Well, we're gonna, like I said, we'll wrap it up there. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna go on a raid here in just a minute. But before we do, I'm gonna let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them, and anything they'd like to share or plug. And we'll go reverse order from how we started. So, Goody, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh god, favorite part. Probably how much everyone hates Captain's old outfit. Just everyone looking at it like, oh god, no. And she's just like, I'm sorry, it's the most efficient thing I own. I wear petticoats. Like, this is what I have. And also her having to deal with not sentient androids and just being like, oh my god, shut up. Shh, be quiet.
Would you like to take a moment to register me?
No. Slumber. But yeah. I am in playtesting in Jay's fantastic game that's happening, and that should be fun. I play a very different kind of character in that game. But that should be fun. And is that tomorrow?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. Yeah, so that should be good. But beyond that, I'm not really anywhere else. But I will be here next week as captain. Going into a heavily irradiated zone. Irradiated. Yeah, irradiated zone. Alone, essentially.
Thank goodness you have 1 crit and 2 advantages.
Exactly. And
Boldly going
I'll
where no
lead 'em.
murder droid has gone before.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Should be fun.
Awesome. Alex, same questions.
Honestly, everybody hating on Captain's old outfit. Just like, it brought especially with Annie Lise, having that moment of like breakup and then realize that everybody hates this outfit. Captain is cracking jokes about this outfit. Oh, things have changed. Oh no. Why? Why did I get it connected to these people? Oh no, I'm screwed. It's just like this wonderful breaking down, but also like so relieved sort of aspects to Annie that have been coming out. It's just so interesting to watch happen. Especially with like Annie coming out and thinking, maybe it was all just a dream. And then there's fucking Captain in the old outfit.
Surprise.
Where you can find me next. Should be back here next week. You can find me also on Twitch, Can Chaos Art, where I first post artwork and stuff. I'm helping out with a few projects now, so I'm a little bit busy and not always posting things because they get posted other places, but hopefully things slow down soon. I am in the Warehouse 15 game over at, who are they? Nerds with Dice, starting at the beginning of June. So in like a week or two, we will be doing that on Friday nights. It is based on the same world and world building as the Warehouse 13 TV show that happened like a few years, well, more than a few years ago, about a decade ago. So it's really interesting. So far, the majority of the cast is non-binary, so it's gonna be a while. Of the player cast is non-binary, but I'm excited because I'm going to be able to play my NASA-based. Don't ask why I call it NASA. It's because I speak French. My NASA-based roboticist,
Awesome.
Dr. Elizabeth Bruin. So yay! It'll be fun to play. That's about it.
Awesome. Vanessa, same questions.
I'm sorry, what's my name?
V, sorry.
Thank you. I've done
not in
nothing
trouble.
wrong, ma'am.
You're not in trouble. I'm sorry.
Is this a Blink-182 song? What's my name?
What's
I
my
feel
name?
like even
No,
you
what's my
stuttered over it a little bit, Raven.
name? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. My name is Vanessa, but we don't say that because, you know, you go by a nickname for so long and you just expect everybody to say that, and you hear your full name and you're like, huh? Excuse me?
Sometimes my brain just mixes it up. You're not in trouble, I promise.
I feel like that's going to be Annie and Annalise if Sparky continues with their bullshit.
Annalise,
And
I
he's
didn't do it.
What did you call me? No, in terms of favorite parts, definitely the whole mentality of if I focus really hard on this mission, then I don't have to think about the other thing that just happened. You know, I feel like to a degree, it kind of showcases Annalise a little bit as well, because she wasn't a mind like that before the memory wipe. Like, she naturally fell into the rhythm of, you know, this step, what do we need next? What do I need to look up? Who's involved? How can I work this to my advantage? So she was kind of in that mentality before. So to have that come back, you know, it was in a time of duress perhaps, but to have that come back kind of speaks to her character from before. So that was interesting. Other favorite parts, geez, the whole session was so good. I just enjoy playing Saturdays, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter if we fit a whole lot into an episode or not very much at all. It's always enjoyable. And this whole session I've been so focused on what the hell's happening with Annalise that I forget most of what happened anyway. I really do embody that Annalise trauma brain, that's for sure. The first thing that comes to mind, Seattle using the arms, just like waving around all these android arms.
The fan dance with the arms, yeah.
Yeah, the fan dance with the android arms. Actually being able to use my contacts now to help everybody to sell the guns, that was great. It was really frustrating to know that I had contacts and then not remember at all who or what they were.
I love the fact that even with a natural run on your gut feeling, you still managed to get us a bit more money.
Yeah. So that was, it was nice to not have that frustration. But yeah, as for myself, you can find my artwork online. I have an art Twitter, which is @PepperoDraws, and that's pepper like the candy. So you can check out my stuff there. I do like original characters, some anime stuff. So if you'd like to check that out, certainly do. And I will be here on Wednesday, where I'm going to be GMing the next episode of Exodus. So if you like the game BioShock, it's based on that. And we're currently in the middle of trying to kill a doctor to take his decapitated head back to the guy who sent us on this mission. So very interesting. Should tune in. That's me.
Very
Awesome.
different crew from Animus.
Absolutely. Same chaotic energy, though.
Yeah. And then Jay, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you and anything you'd like to share or plug?
I think my favorite part was when we were all trying to puzzle out this whole like Tolan radiation situation. Like watching everyone go through the kind of rigmarole in their own way of what could be waiting for us on the other side. Is it all a ruse? You know, is he just sick of our shit? And like contacting people. I think it was really interesting the way we all approached it, and I liked seeing the crew kind of come together for that. Also, the fact that none of us really have that much attachment to the Lagrange was a twist I knew was coming, but I was still surprised by it for some reason. I was like, oh, well, wouldn't we care about? No, why would we care about this ship? Why would like? It's just a ship. It's fine.
It's just a ship that holds memories that most of us would rather not have reminders of.
Yeah. Or at the very least, it's also not a ship that Rip would know right away. You know, let's put that out there.
I'm going to call it now. I think you're all going to get really attached to the next ship.
Oh, 100%, because we'll have a choice in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's way
the next
different,
ship is the one that's going to end up like super customized.
100%, yeah.
I think it's going to end up being like your Serenity, if you will.
Yeah. Like I've looked at a few hundred designs today, and I'm really sold on them. So, yeah, that was my favorite bit. Where you can find me next will be on Tuesday for Standing Stones at 6 Mountain Time. Where I play a drastically different character who doesn't talk as much, but when they do, good God. And otherwise, you can find me on Twitter where I barely post, and itch.io where I also barely post. And at some point in this year, you'll be able to play Afterburner, which is the system I'm making. That's the system we're playtesting on Monday. And I'm very excited because finally I don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. In fact, it might not even have to throw out the bathwater. So, awesome. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. All right, that just leaves me. My favorite part is the same. It was watching you all try to dig in and figure out and go like, wait, I don't quite buy that. Really, without any like real prompting from me either, which is always fun to see. Is just watching the light bulbs go off and go, that doesn't sound quite right, and then trying to dig in and find out, and watching your process and everybody's thoughts and everything. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that part. But the whole
I feel like we also
great.
worked incredibly well for that too, like communication wise.
Oh yeah, everybody was just like,
the thing we're the worst
I
at.
don't like this. Let's all go investigate.
Yep. There's definitely a lot more looking before you leap now than there was a couple seasons ago.
We learned. It took a while, but we learned.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the whole thing. Where you can find me next, I will also be in Standing Stones on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That is the next time I will be on stream. Playing words. I'll be playing Callie, or Cauliflower as her full name, who's essentially it's a high fantasy game about kids in a town that has a barrier that nullifies magic, and then we just found out if you go outside, there's actually magic. So she's your basic shonen anime protagonist. Literally has a tail. She's basically a Saiyan. She's not very bright, and she likes to fight, but she's very protective of her friends, especially Sage. She's a ton of fun to play, and it's always a good time. You should definitely come check that out. And then we've got the rest of our normal streaming schedule for the rest of the week as well. And other things to share or plug are sponsors, which I'm going to throw into chat again. Fundamental RPG, it looks like this. It's the system we've been using for this game. It's also what we use for Standing Stones. Welcome to Madison, and here in the next couple weeks probably, it'll be for Blackfeather Paranormal Investigations. So as you can see, you can use the system for virtually any genre, really without having to hack it or add anything to it. It's very versatile. So if you'd like to pick up your own copy, you can do so at Amazon if you want the physical book, or if you just want the electronic copy, the PDF, You can do so at coffee.com/raven/shop. Like it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just add /shop to the end of it. And it's currently on sale until the end of the month for $14.99. It's regularly $18.99. So you can get it for sale until the end of the month, about 8 more days or so. So go pick that up. And then also at the same website, if you look at the top, there'll be a little button that says Intrepid. That's another of our sponsors, which is adventuring gear for real life. So drinkware, apparel, accessories, a bunch of cool stuff like that with a tabletop or adventure theme to it. There's even some Pride stuff that we're working on getting into there. There's, I think, 3 water bottles currently, but we're working on getting more variety of items and designs in there before June, hopefully. And then Die Hard dice, really cool dice. Anytime I have to roll physical dice, it's usually a Die Hard. That's what I've been using tonight for the NPC rolls that you weren't able to see on Roll20, because I was using physical dice. And they sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set this month. And it's really pretty. It looks good on the camera. It's even better in person. But you can pick up your own set or any number of other really cool designs at dieharddice.com. Then if you use the code BlackFeatherMay, capital B, capital M, all one word, you can get 10% off your order. And that code works until the end of the month as well. So go check that out. And if you want to catch up on this show, there's just a few episodes since we're on episode 43 now. But if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. Just go to Stream Library and look for Black Feather Guild, and that's where all of our old content will be. And then our raid cry is going to be, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Feel free to copy that out of chat, and we're going to go raid Polished Cryptid, who's fantastic, has been on this channel before. Highly recommend giving her a follow if you're not doing so already. And go say hi. There's also tons of wonderful people on there. Go follow them as well right now. Go say hi, drop the raid cry, give them a follow, and then I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.